Hey guys, James from SIKKY Manufacturing. Today I'm going to show you a step-by-step installation guide for putting this SIKKY FD RX7 sway bar on this beautiful black RX7 we have right here. Let's get started. First step is get this factory sway bar out of the way. Alright, so I'm going to start by taking off this bottom end link bolt. So this is actually also shared by the bottom of the shock. So this whole bolt goes through and connects to the end link on the other side. So we're going to take this off, get that out of the way. Alright, so now we're going to go to the other end of the end link and unbolt it from the sway bar. So once you get that free, there's going to be tension on this bolt because the whole weight of the suspension, the wheel's hanging on it. So if you're on a lift, you can put a pole jack under here and lift the weight up a little bit, and then this will slide out. If you're doing this on the ground, just, you know, if the car's on jack stands, put a jack under the tire here and lift the tire up a little bit. So barely lifted the tire up, and then you can see this easily slides out, and that's your factory left end link assembly. Alright, so now we're going to do the same thing on the right side. Get this factory end link out of here. Same thing, you lift up the tire a little bit to get the end link out. Squeaky. Alright, so now we're going to unbolt the sway bar bushing brackets that hold the sway bar to the chassis. Alright, so as you can see, the SIKKY sway bar is quite a bit beefier. And then also the three-way adjustability versus the factory sway bar. Alright, so now I'm going to attempt to put this SIKKY sway bar back in the way we removed the OEM one. You got to work it behind the gas tank straps. I mean, it would be a little easier if I took the wheel off, but for the sake of seeing if I can pull it off, we're going to try it like this. Alright, so now we're going to take the supplied bushing grease and put a liberal amount in here. Just get it all the way around the inside surface. This will help keep the sway bar quiet and the bushings lubricated. Once you get that on there, you got to split it open. There's a split in it. You can So as you can see, one side of this sway bar bushing bracket has a curved edge. So you'll see there's like a pinch weld kind of along the frame rail of the car up there. That's where you need that for that extra clearance. If this side's on there, it gets really close and doesn't really allow it to align perfectly. So just be sure when you're putting it in place that you take note of that curve. And then use the SIKKY supplied hardware and washers. One bolt and washer per side. Same thing on the other side of the car. We're just going to get this up into place and get the bolts started, and then we're going to go to the other side before we tighten anything down. Alright, so now we're going to raise the wheel back up and get the bottom bolt for the end link assembly through the bottom of the shock mount before we attach it to the actual sway bar. So the end link assembly comes shipped like this with this nut on here. So you're going to take the nut off. This spacer goes between the end link and the shock. So you want this on this side. The other side just gets this lock nut. So it's a nylon lock nut. So we're going to slide this whole assembly in just like this. All you're taking is the nut off and it goes in. And then you can put the nut on the other side. I wouldn't tighten that down yet, just get it on there finger tight. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side, and then the last step is we'll rotate the end link around and hook it to the sway bar. Alright, so before you put the end link bolt on, you're going to want to set your bar as level as possible. It's not really that crucial, but it's something where we want to get it as close as we can. A little bit up's not going to matter. But so you're going to spin this time joint down onto the stud till you get it just about lined up. And then you're going to take the provided bolt, put it through the bar, and washer and nut on the back side, and then tighten everything up. So this side, since we haven't hooked up the other end link yet, we can just put this on at a length that we want and bolt it down. If you're concerned about putting any preload on your car, before you tighten everything down the other side, you can set the car all the way down, load the suspension, and then position the other end link so it lines up cleanly with the hole. That way there's nothing pulling on the bar. Like if you were to go to the other side and pull down on the bar or something like that and tighten it, you're technically putting preload on it, which we're not going to want to do on this setup. So it's just another little step you can do, and just ensures a better setup suspension when you're all said and done. All right, don't forget to tighten down your jam nut once everything else is snugged up. All right, so that's a wrap. One thing I want to mention I didn't cover during the installation is you want to clearance the pinch weld a little bit where the sway bar makes the bend to hook to the end links, just to add a little bit of extra clearance because the OEM bar is so much smaller than the SIKKY bar. Pretty basic install though. If you want to pick up a sway bar for your FD RX7, log on to sikky.com or get in touch with one of our knowledgeable sales reps today.